Good morning to you, sport fans. Thanks a lot for joining us for Monday edition of Sports Today on ABS TV. My name is Ike Nwokedi, and the weekend was filled with lots of sporting action across the globe. We'll tell you how Enyimba International won the 2022-2023 Nigeria Premier Football League. We'll also be talking about the zonal elimination of the Anambra State School Sports Festival. It concluded at the weekend. And we are all set for the finals that are coming up from the 21st to 24th of June. That's this month. Also on the sports show, we'll be talking about football. Aston Villa have all but concluded the signing of Yuri-Tai Leisman, the Leicester City midfielder. We'll probably have some news from tennis at the French Open. Roland Garros just got concluded at the weekend. We'll tell you what went down and that one. And other sports gist on the sports show, Sports Today on ABS and TV. Well, let's begin with our first story. Our first story is about the Anambra School Sports Festival, which is the concept of the Anambra Sports Solution Initiative. Let's tell you that Patrick Estate Onyedum, Chairman, Anambra State Sports Development Commission, ASSDC, has commended student athletes for their impressive and eye-catching performances during the zonal stages of the ongoing Anambra School Sports Festival held on Friday 9th and Saturday, 10th June 2023 at the three senatorial zones. Onyedum expressed his delight that the grassroots is filled with budding talent who have what it takes to be national stars and world beaters in few years to come if properly groomed and nurtured. He also commended the sports officials for their selfless service and thanked God for a clement weather during the two-day exercise at different zones in the state. Onyedum eulogized the state government under the leadership of His Excellency Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo for his immense support to the Commission's sports programs and providing right and platform for the teaming use of the state. He also revealed that School Sports Festival is also an avenue to fish out a talent that will represent the state at the upcoming National Youth Games later in the year. I want to, in a special way, thank Mr. Governor, His Excellency Professor Charles Soludo for his support to sports by way of approving the Sports Solution Initiative, which bettered the Anambra School Sports Festival. The governor has also given the nod for this program to become an annual event, and we want to thank him for graciously giving the nod for sports development at the grassroots level. The Anambra School Sports Festival has provided a platform for us to spot out exceptional talents that will form the nucleus of the various sporting sites that will represent our dear state at the upcoming National Youth Games later this year, and also for the National Sports Festival come next year. We have scouts scattered across our various centers who are saddled with the responsibility of fishing out talent, and I must tell you that they have confirmed to me that Anambra is endowed with amazing talent. Patrick Estate Onyedum told our correspondent. The zonal elimination of the ongoing Anambra School Sports Festival, which was concluded on Saturday across the three senatorial districts, we finally emerging to represent their local government areas at the state finals are scheduled to hold at the Oka City Stadium and Alex Ekwueme Square, Rome from Wednesday 21st to Saturday 24th June 2023. The two-day zonal elimination series we are staged at Nnewi High School. Nnewi is Swafia Community Secondary School for Anambra South Senatorial District, while Chuba Ikpeazu Stadium Onitsha and Otuocha Stadium Aguleri hosted the Anambra North Senatorial Zone. The Anambra Central hostilities were staged at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium Abagana, St. Mary's High School Ifitedunu, St. Stephen's Parish Ground in Ifitedunu, and Sports Club Amobia. In male football, Christ the King College Onitsha looked set to reenact the World Academical Feat at Dublin in 1977 as they cruised to the final in both the under-13 and the under-17 categories. The school joined to represent Anambra North after its under-13 team Walopta Community Primary School by 7 goals to 0 in a game that was meant to determine the first place team, while under 17 after succumbing 0-1 to Washington Boys. The narrow loss did not remove the shine and quality from the trailing contest with CKC appearing comfortable with the opportunity to mount at the big stage of the state final. In female football, Urban Girls Secondary School Onitsha defeated Bethlehem Girls College Fege 1-0 in the under 17 category to advance to the state finals as representatives of Anambra North. In the Nnewi Queen of Angels beat a community school Ebenato by 5 goals to 4 on penalties to qualify for female under-17 football, while Nnewi High School defeated Divinity Secondary School by 3 goals to 1 in male category to emerge from Anambra South. In Isuofia, Christ Redeemer College Amesi defeated CSS Oko by 4 goals to 2 via penalties in the female under-17 football, while their male counterparts joined in the state finals after beating Community Secondary School Obo by 2 goals to 1. Talking about basketball, Nnewi High School advanced to the state finals after walking over the opponents that didn't show up for the final. In the female volleyball, Holy Child Secondary School Isuofia and Community Secondary School Isuofia advanced to the state finals to represent Anambra South. While for the male volleyball, for that one, Holy Child Secondary School Isuofia defeated Community Secondary School Isuofia 3-2 to represent Anambra South Zone in the state final. In Anambra Central, Bubendorf Grammar School, Adazin Nuku and CSS Akwese progressed in the male volleyball event, while Community Secondary School Akwese and Rosa Mystica High School Agolo advanced in the female category. Don Bosco College Obosi and Bubendorf Memorial Grammar School Adazin Nuku are through to the under-17 male basketball final, while Mata Amabilisa College Umoji advanced to the final unopposed. In under-17 male finals, Bubendorf Memorial Grammar School Adazin Nuku defeated Capital City Secondary School Oka 8-4-3 on penalties via penalty shootout to make it to the finals. Actually, it's 8-7 on penalties, just to correct myself on that. Now, let's show you some of the clips from the school sports festival. Will show you the one of football and a bit of volleyball. That's from the zonal elimination of the ongoing school sports festival in the state. Enjoy it. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show, Sports Today on ABS TV. Apologies for that. I will bring you some of the clips from the ongoing school sports festival at the zonal elimination held on Friday and Saturday. We'll show you some of those clips before the show winds off. Now, let's move on to our second story. Enyimba International has been crowned the champions of the 2022-2023 Nigeria Premier Football League after holding Rivers United to a 1-1 draw in the final game of the Super 6 playoff at the Mobalaji Johnson Stadium, and that was on Sunday. This is the People's Elephants' 9th league title, making them the most successful club in the Nigerian league. Definitely, the Georgia-led side has succeeded in winning the league on superior goal difference after tying on 9 points with Rivers United and Remo Stars at the end of the championship playoff. Despite drawing 3 and winning just 2 of their 5 games in the competition, the club emerged as champions. In the final game against Rivers United, Enyimba International got the first goal in the 39th minute as Ekene Awasdi dispatched the well-taken strike. Rivers qualified quickly responded after the half-time break with Anyima Wagwa putting the ball into the net following a goal-less scuffle, a goal-line scuffle rather. The People's Elephants held on for a well-deserved draw that extended their winning streak and cemented their position as the most successful club in the Nigerian League. Enyimba FC will represent Nigeria at the CAF Champions League next season alongside Remo Stars, who finished second. Remo Stars defeated Bendel Insurance 1-0 in an earlier fixture with Akanisa 36-minute striker securing their place in the continent's Premier Club competition for next season. And Rivers United finished third in the championship playoff and will play in the CAF Confederation Cup. And before this time, we are talking about the zonal elimination of the School Sports Festival, the program of the Anambra State Sports and Development Commission. Let's now show you some of the clips that we got from the field during the course of the zonal elimination held on Friday and Saturday at various centers in the state. Those were some of the clips you're seeing now are from the zonal elimination of the School Sports Festival held on Friday and Saturday out there. And that was at the ground of St. Stephen Pitch, Ifitedunu, St. Stephen's Parish Pitch, Ifitedunu, where we had football events there. And in one of the clips out there, you saw St. Alphonsus Girls Secondary School taking on Rosa Mystica College, Agolo out there. It was all about the School Sports Festival. And it continues. The finals will be coming up from the 21st to the 24th of June later in the month. And that's one. It will be coming up at the Oka City Stadium and the Alex Ekwueme Square out there here in Aroma. That's when it will be happening. Now, let's move on from that and let's talk about other sports. Let's talk about the Super Falcons. The Super Falcons have ascended 2 places in the most recent women's ranking released by the illustrious Federation of International Football Association, FIFA. Following wins in the friendly matches in April, the Falcons soared to the 40th position from their previous standing at 42nd, and the Nigerian women's national team defeated Haiti by 2-1 and New Zealand 3-0 in Turkey within 4 days. And the Super Falcons rise comes hot on the heels of the final ranking before the highly anticipated 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup are set to be hosted by Australia and New Zealand. That's coming up in 2 months' time. Under the guidance of Randy Waldrum, the Super Falcons have successfully maintained their eminent status as the leading team in Africa. Joining them on the global stage will be South Africa, Morocco, and Zambia, all set to represent Africa. Drawing attention to the World Cup, Nigeria find itself a place in Group B alongside co-host Australia, Canada, and the Republic of Ireland, who will be making their World Cup debut. In terms of FIFA rankings, Canada stands as the highest ranked team in Group A, occupying an impressive 7th position in the world ranking. Elsewhere, let's tell you that Super Eagles head coach Jose Santos Peseiro has named the squad for the upcoming African Cup of Nations qualifying match against the Leon Stars of Sierra Leone in Monrovia, Liberia. Notable players including Napoli's Victor Osimhen, captain Ahmed Musa, defender William Troost-Ekong, and midfielders Alex Iwobi and Wilfred Ndidi have received the invitations for the clash, and leading the pack of strikers is the sensational Victor Osimhen, who has been in exceptional form for Napoli this season, netting an impressive 31 goals in all competition. And Osimhen's remarkable performance has contributed significantly to Napoli clinching their first Serie A title in 33 years and securing a spot in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And joining him in the forward line is Villarreal Samuel Chukwueze, who was honored as the best African player in La Liga for the 2022-2023 season. The invited players will have goalkeeper Adebayo Adeleye of Hapoel of Jerusalem in Israel. We'll have Victor Sochima of Rivers United and Olorunleke Ojo of Enyimba International. For defenders, we'll have William Troost-Ekong of Watford is in that team. Calvin Bassey of Ajax Amsterdam in Netherlands. We'll have Kevin Akpogun of Hoffenheim in Germany. Chidebere Duru of Rivers United. We'll have Oluwasemilogo Ajayi of West Bromwich Albion. Kenneth Omeru of Leganés in Spain, Seydou Sanusi of FC Porto in Portugal, Bright Osayi Samuel of Fenerbahce in Turkey. And for midfielders, I will have Joseph Ayodele Aribo of Southampton, Alex Iwobi of Everton, Divine Nwachukwu of Bendel Insurance, Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City, and Frank Onyeka of Brentford in England. And for strikers, we have Moses Simon of Nantes in France, Samuel Chukwueze of Villarreal in Spain, Ademola Lookman of Atalanta in Italy, Victor Osimhen of Napoli in Italy, Taiwo Awoniyi of Nottingham Forest in England, Kelechi Iheanacho of Leicester City, and Ahmed Musa of Sivasspor in Turkey. Moving away from Super Eagles news, let's go to the continent. Let's tell you that former Fulham and Stoke City defender Gabi Zakuani has joined the DR Congo's under-20 technical team as an assistant coach. The retired defender is a former DR Congo international who accumulated and won 29 international caps, and also captained the Leopards. And Zakuani, who spent the entire professional career in England, explained why he returned to his country of birth and accepted the coaching job. Having retired from professional football in 2020, Zakuani's management experience is limited to a brief spell with England non-league club Spalding United, and he can't wait to get going once more after being given his latest opportunity. Elsewhere, still talking football, Liverpool midfielder Naby Keita will join German Bundesliga side Werder Bremen when his contract expires with the Anfield club this summer. The 28-year-old who scored 11 goals in 129 appearances for the Reds signed for what was a club record 48 million pounds from Leipzig, and that was in 2018. And the Guinea midfielder made just 8 league appearances this season, having struggled with injuries, and Liverpool had confirmed his departure in the month of May, and Keita lifted at the Premier League, Champions League, Club World Cup, FA Cup, and EFL Cup in his 4-year spell in England. And away from that, let's talk about athletics on the sports show. Irish athlete Rasheedat Adeleke moved to 20th in the all-time list of the women's 400 meters as she won the National Collegiate Athletics Association NCAA title, and that's in the United States of America. Adeleke, 20 years of age, has smashed her own Irish record by 0.34 seconds in Texas by triumphing in 49.20 seconds. And the U.S. star Bryton Wilson was the stronger favorite for the final, but had to settle for second spot in a time of 49.64 seconds. Adeleke's win saw her become the first Irish victor at the NCCA's since 20, and that was since 2006. Sligo athlete Mary Cullen's 5,000 meters triumph 17 years ago was the last time an Irish athlete had triumphed at the prestigious US Collegiate Championship, and Wilson remains second in this year's world rankings behind Dominican Republic athlete Mary leading Paulino in a time of 48.98 seconds, but the American was unable to get close to her season's and personal best of 49.13 seconds as she was overhauled by the Irish woman in the closing 50 meters. The Americans' hopes of achieving the historic 400 meters and 400 meters hurdles double at the championship unraveled as she later could not have finished her 7th over the barriers in a disappointing time of 55.92, some 1.47 seconds behind winner Savannah Sutherland. Adeleke's win saw her become the first Irish sprinter to win an NCAA title, and she also helped her University of Texas team clinch the 4x100 meters relay gold medal. And away from athletics, let's talk about tennis right now. Novak Djokovic showed his greatness once again by overcoming a sticky starter to win a men's record 23rd Grand Slam title with a victory over Norway's Casper Ruud in the French Open final. 36-year-old Novak Djokovic was far from his best in the initial stages, but his quality in a first set tiebreaker laid the platform for a 7-6, 6-3, 7-5 victory over his opponent in the finals. And the Serb moves into the outright lead of men's majors ahead of Rafael Nadal. He also becomes the first man to win all 4 majors at least 3 times playing tennis. Victory on the Paris clay moves Djokovic alongside Serena Williams in terms of Grand Slam titles, with only Margaret Court standing in front of him with 24 majors. It may interest you to know Djokovic will have the opportunity to tie Court's record at Wimbledon next month, a place where he has already won 7 times, will be the favorite to equal Roger Federer's record tally of men's titles. And Djokovic instantly fell flat on his back in celebration as Ruud pulled a forehand wide on the 2nd championship point. So congratulations to that man, Novak Djokovic, for winning this title. And now back to some football news. Aston Villa have agreed a deal to sign Leicester City midfielder Yuri Tielemans Awuhie, and the Belgium international, 26 years of age, will join the club on July 1 after his Leicester's contract expires. And following Leicester's relegation from the Premier League, Arsenal, Manchester United, and AS Roma were also rumored to be interested in Tielemans. And Tielemans expects to be Villa's first signing of the summer, joining Leicester City in 2019 and helped the Foxes win the FA Cup, and that was in 2021. The Belgians scored the only goal in Leicester City's 1-0 victory against Chelsea in the final. That was one of 28 goals that he scored for the club in 195 appearances across all competition. We hear and Tielemans joined Leicester initially on loan from Monaco in January 2019, and his move was made permanent in the then club record £40 million deal, and that was in July of that year. And now let's talk about Manchester City. Let's tell you that Manchester City's long quest to win the Champions League finally ended in triumph after Inter Milan in Istanbul, as Pep Guardiola's side completed the treble, and after winning the Premier League and FA Cup, City emulated Manchester United's triple trophy haul in 1999 as they became only the second English club to achieve a defeat after Rodri's Cripps 68-minute strike settled the game. And Guardiola's all-conquering side were never at their best against a brilliantly organized Inter, and had to come with the loss and had to cope with the loss of Kevin De Bruyne to injury in the first half. But the amassed rank of City fans inside the Atatürk Stadium did not care about that, as they joyously celebrated the greatest night and season in the club's history. And for Guardiola, it sealed his status as one of the managerial greats, as he added a 3rd Champions League to the 2 he won at Barcelona, the last coming in 2011. And we say congratulations to that club. Manchester City is a treble for them, winning the league, the FA Cup, and now the Champions League, and they've equaled the feat of Manchester United. They exhibited that in 1999. On that note, that's about the size of the show this morning. Sports Today on ABS TV. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us us on for the show this Monday. And the subsequent edition to come, yes, we apologize. We couldn't get you the interview we had with the chairman of Sports Development Commission, the occasion of Arizona School Sports. We'll do that in subsequent edition of Sports Today on ABS TV. I am Ike Nwokede. Have a lovely week and remember to keep sporting. Bye-bye now.